What is up, woke family? It's your boy Wokey Bucks, and we're back again with another live stream. So the topic that I'll be discussing this live stream this morning is in regards to how to be able to make yourself high value, right? If you can learn how to master one of these five traits that I'm about to mention right now, you put yourself in the top 20% of men worldwide, not only in the United States, but in the entire world. So let's dive right into it, right? The first thing that you can do to be able to the first one of the traits that you can be able to master in order to be able to make yourself high value is working on your physique, right? I don't think a lot of people talk about it a lot, but you have to learn how to make yourself as attractive as you possibly can, not only to the opposite sex, but to other men, especially, right? And this is mainly for men, but to other men, right? Because the thing is that when you're a person that works on your physique, you're making it publicly known that you're at a higher echelon. You're a higher value man. Why are you a higher value man? Because you're taking time to work on your body. You're putting yourself first. You're taking care of your body, right? What a lot of men tend to do is that they tend to not really have a lot of athletic figures, right? When it comes to their physique, because they don't take care of themselves. What you see, you would rather see a man that is in his late teens, even mid-teens, early 20s, mid-20s, and so on and so forth. They would rather give their time and attention towards seeking a relationship than trying to work on their physique. And this is the one thing you have to understand. When you take more time to focus on trying to get into a relationship instead of focusing on your physique, you're putting yourself in the bottom 80%. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the bottom 80% of men are the ones that are looking for relationships and they end up being single. Or if they are in a relationship, they end up getting dogged out. They end up getting wronged by their girlfriend. Because the thing is that your girlfriend, to an extent, wants to see that you are on your purpose, that you have a sense of direction, so you can be able to lead her in every aspect of her life, bro. Right? So you definitely want to put yourself in the top echelon of people by focusing on your physique. Make your physique one of the most important things that you're going to focus on first, right? That's one of the things that you can literally do to put yourself in the top 20% of men, right? And the reality is that if you're in the top 20% of men worldwide, getting women is not going to be a problem for you. And this is the thing you have to understand, especially as a man. When you can get women to be interested in you, you have to understand that it's genuine majority of the time. I say probably out of 10, 7 to 8 out of 10 women that come into your life are generally going to be interested in you because they're coming into your life. It's not like you're going into their life, right? They approach you, right? The next thing you can do to definitely improve your situation, right, to make yourself become high value is you focus on getting your money up, right? You have to understand a lot of people only see high value as you being able to make over six figures. That's one aspect, but you can be higher value in every other aspect as well too, except for the money aspect, and still be high value, or at least one of those areas. But in this situation right now, what we're talking about, you want to put yourself in a position to become higher value by focusing on your finances. You put yourself in a position to focus on your finances and you get your money up, which basically means you got to be a hustler, right? You either, and when I say hustle, I'm not specifically talking about people who try to finesse people. No, I'm talking about you have to be a grinder. You have to go out there and make your bread legally, right? Because if you choose to not do it legally, then whatever happens to you is what happens to you. But you got to hustle, bro. Like a lot of people don't have that hustle mentality. A lot of people don't have that grind mentality. A lot of people don't have that mentality where I have to go out and get it, right? Back during the older days, right? During the times of our forefathers, right? Obviously, it was hunter gathering back then, but regardless of the situation, you have to understand, right? If you didn't work, you didn't eat. Let me repeat that again. If you did not work, you did not eat. Right now, in the society that we're in right now, there are so many opportunities for you to be able to make money. So you don't have to stick to only one thing. You feel what I'm saying? Some people choose to go through the corporate way or basically having jobs, right? And you have to understand the difference between a job and a career, right? A job is a position where you can easily leave, but a career is something that you're more likely than not going to stay in long term in order to be able to get promoted and become the highest level that you can become there, right? With that being said, you have to, as well as a career being given like you're basically given like a higher title, like a doctor, lawyer, engineer. Those are careers. But like somebody who works at Dunkin' Donuts for 20 years, that's not a career, that's a job. You feel what I'm saying? So you can do that. Or you can go the harder route, which I respect a lot more, and that is becoming an entrepreneur, right? You can either become a small business owner or a big business owner. But I'll tell you, if you really want to become wealthy as an entrepreneur, you want to go down the road of being either a big business owner or an investor. Those are the two routes you want to go through. But if you start off as a small business owner, there's no problem. Make your target to get into the upper echelon of 500 employees or more. Is it easier said than done? Definitely, but you have to work towards it. It's a goal, right? With that being said, right, you have to understand that there's so many opportunities, especially here in the States, right? Or if you, let's say, for instance, you don't live in the States and you live in a third world country, right? You want to put yourself in a position where it's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to make money online, right? You have to put yourself in a position to be able to make money online in order to be able to either build that wealth, or you can go down to the basics, right? Which is basically owning your, or working hard, even if it's little foods or fruits or whatever. Save up that money, start a business, start selling more food, you get more money. So whatever you can do to be able to enhance your life, you do it. You feel what I'm saying? But that's what we're trying to do right now. You feel what I'm saying? Like it's going to take work, definitely, but you got to put in the work. That's the reality of the situation. You feel what I'm saying? So you got to get that money up. There's no excuse to be poor, especially if you live in a first world country like America, Canada, United Kingdom. There's no excuse to be poor, broke. There's no excuse. Another aspect in which you can improve your life, right? So we spoke about physically and financially, spiritually, developing your relationship with the Most High Jesus Christ. A lot of people don't realize that spirituality can either come from two places. It can come from the devil, which is demonic, or it can come from God, which is godly. If you do not develop your relationship with God, read the holy book. For me, it's the Bible. For some people, it might be the Quran, it might be the Torah, and so on and so forth, or even others. If you do not develop your relationship with God, if you do not focus on how you're going to become the best version of yourself through following his commandments and living life the way he calls you to live life, it is going to be very, very hard for you to be respected in society. It's going to be very, very hard for you to be able to see what's going on in your life and not be able to interpret it. You're going to realize that the better you develop a relationship with God, he's going to reveal things to you about how people truly feel about you, about how you're seen in society, and what it's going to take for you to be able to get to the next level, right? That's what also makes you high value, but a lot of people only see it as, oh yeah, I have to make money, and that's what makes me high value. No, you can be high value in 5 different aspects. If you're high value spiritually in your relationship with God as well as religiously, you're putting yourself in the top 20% of men. Because whether you believe it or not, there's a decent amount of people, whether they're men or women out there, that are going to be heavily inspired, because you're going to be known more as a motivational speaker, as a preacher, because you're preaching the word of God. And that is what life is. Because if you go back, especially in the Bible, right? I'm a Catholic, I'm a Christian Catholic, right? You go back into the Bible and you read about most of the stories that happen in the Bible, they're reflective on what's going on in society now, right? A whole bunch of disarray, a whole bunch of negative things, but then God puts either a person in the name of a prophet or certain things in place in order to be able to correct society and fix it, right? So if you can put yourself in a position to do either one of those, you're in the top echelon, right? So what have we talked about already? We've talked about financially, we've talked about physically, we've talked about spiritually. There's 2 more important aspects that we're going to get into in 2 seconds, right? Another one of those aspects in which you can basically improve your life, mentally. As a man, if your mental is not in check, it's going to be hard for you to be able to do all of the other things I just mentioned, except for probably spiritual. You have to learn how to be able to use your mental, right? Your brain power in order to be able to become an asset to you. If you cannot use your brain in order to have it help you make money, help you become wiser, help you become smarter, you're wasting your brain power. And the reality of the situation is that we have a lot of people that waste their brain cells, especially in the society and especially in the world when it comes to this smoking that ganja, bro. You have to preserve your brain cells. Y'all are so bored because you're not productive. You're not using your brain power to be productive throughout the day. You wake up in the morning, you smoke marijuana. In the afternoon, you smoke. In the night, you smoke. You're killing your brain cells on top of killing your brain cells. You're also not using your brain cells to be able to help you make more money in order to be able to help you become wiser, right? There are so many more productive things that you can do. But if you have the mental capacity to understand that, then from there, you can be able to become high value. So once you learn how to get your mental in check, especially when you're having conversations with people as well too, and you learn how to think from a logical perspective, which comes with the brain, right? Then you're going to be fine. Like for instance, we have a simple math problem: 1 + 1 it equals 2. But you have some people that will try to refute that logic when that's the truth. With that being said, logic also comes into play When and logic and emotion to an extent are a little bit connected. When somebody in life, like in real life time, when you're out in public, tries to disrespect you or tries to try you, like it is an emotional response for you to lash out at that person, which is more of a feminine trait than it is a masculine trait. We as masculine men, does that mean that we're not going to get angry? No, we are going to get angry. It's normal. That's part of life. How you react to it though is completely either going to be logical or emotional. But a lot of men, especially in 2022, tend to react in an emotional manner. You cannot afford to do that. You understand? Put yourself in the best position in order to become more logically sound by behaving with the logical manner. Even if somebody pisses you off, you know that it's the right thing for you to just walk away. Use your brain and say, you know what? Instead of me acting emotional, let me just use my brain and think, what will happen if I do this? Let me just walk away from the situation and diffuse it. You understand? If you can do that, you're part of the top 20% of men. It's going to be a lot easier for you to be able to deal with both men and women, and a lot more women are going to like you. You feel what I'm trying to say? Next thing on the list, we have emotional. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. We as men need to learn how to control our emotions. And some might say it's counterproductive what I'm saying. It's not. I know we were raised in a society that taught us to be emotional as men. They tried to tell us, let out your feelings, this and that. No. And I'm not trying to tell you to not pay attention to your feelings, but you have to learn how to control your emotions. How do you control your emotions? You control your emotions by learning how to think with logic. You use logic to be able to think, and you have to learn how to become tougher, right? Because if you react to everything with emotion based off of how you feel, then that makes you a woman. That's why you hear women all the time. They're always like, "Oh, you know what? I feel like." Instead of feeling like, you need to learn how to think. Use logic. Use your brain power. You feel what I'm saying? Because there's going to be so many days where you're not going to feel like getting up and going to work. There's going to be many days where you don't feel like going to the gym or at least getting in some type of workout. You have to fight those urges. You have to fight those urges because those urges are here to destroy you. They're here to make you weaker. Are you going to be weak or are you going to be strong? The choice is completely up to you. But you got to decide what you want to do for your life. You feel what I'm saying? You have to make that decision. And you have to understand that whatever decision you try to make, especially if it's negative, you have to live with it. But if you make a positive decision, you're going to feel a lot better about it down the line. So if you can participate and do those 5 things, you put yourself in the top 20% of men worldwide. If you understand, it's because you're woke. If you don't understand, you're not woke. This is going to be in this live stream. If you like this live stream, make sure you go spam that like button, leave comments, share this live stream with your friends, subscribe to the channel at Woke Ebucks, WOKEEBUKS. Tap the notification bell to get all the latest videos that I post. Patreon link will be down in the description below, and so will social media links. So make sure you go give those a check. But without further ado, this is going to be in this live stream. This is Woke Ebucks, and I'm out, man.